And oh, look at that sweet mug as we celebrate number 68, our 68th IWAR Goals Strategy Workshop. Look right there on my shoulder. And Mike's jumping right into it. We are going to get going tonight because Christmas time is almost here. A lot going on. And we want to make sure we get this going because this cycle's going to be crazy. Maybe. Uh, maybe.
Already is. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I almost forgot. You can find our new merch, at least at least temporarily, till we have to change the logo again. But who knows? I won't jinx anything. There we go. This is for the holiday cycle, which is the last cycle of the year for the IOR network of leagues, and we have one big thing to look at right at the
The
beginning.
first cycle for everybody else.
Yeah, everybody else first cycle. I've always thought, well, January is my first cycle, but it's only a holiday, so. But I will keep that as a old school IWAR thing. It's January,
Mhm.
New Year. Goddamn kids. No 28s. That's right. Johnny B and Way were like, 28s, huh? No. No, you won't get 28s. Uh, although it was funny, I was thinking like doing like a little like post of like, I would take anything that's already dropped in gold last cycle or 28s, and I didn't do that, but then it did. Hate this stuff, but keeps me going. So this night's show is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy. Finish this one off. I don't drink coffee.
So that puts what would that be like 4:30 a.m. You're good till?
I can sleep on it. I could
Oh, okay.
it gives me a bolt of energy for sure. Helps at work. I will say, like, I get like and
Mm.
actually I find it helps writing sometimes. I get like some good ideas, which this cycle, um I have a lot of fun ideas. So I gotta crank that all out. My back is junk, so I took tomorrow off of work. So I'm like, I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna put a heating pad and ice my back off and on throughout the day and work on IWA and relax. And then you just sit there and agonize over picking 41 or 42.
Yep. I
So
think I'm gonna make that easier.
are you ready for the big holiday?
Yeah, yeah.
Did,
We don't do much, but
did you ask Santa for a new Chris Benoit action figure?
I'm trying to think. I don't even think I have one in
I
here.
was gonna say I always wanted like, do you have a Chris Benoit action figure, or is that like a big taboo? And, like they don't show them like they don't sell them at shows.
No, I don't. It's just not in anything I collect. Yeah, I didn't really care for the early 2000s, like Jackson, all those.
Yeah.
Just not what I
So I just knew too many guys who walked like Chris Benoit from the gym. So it was like I enjoyed him in the ring. I mean, it was fine, but I was more of an Eddie guy. But yeah, so we're looking here. You got us at the back end for actually I guess we can break down
Either
what
one.
did what.
Yeah.
So take it
All right. We'll
away.
do the front real quick. All right. Here's what we can cross off. We got still was 29-27. That helped. Always good when still gets out when Iron only eliminated the 28s, but still that's a pretty nice one to eliminate if it's going to be a double drop.
Tommy
We
DeVito says
got
yes.
27-26 from last cycle's gold. And 2 cycles ago, 29-26. So if you think a 29 is going to drop, you've got 3 options there. In total, just from that, we're down to 13.
Okay.
So less front options than backs, with all 16 backs available right now. We'll go over here to the 2 cycles ago 25s.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wrong last cycle. I thought we would get the 2 no's in a row, but we didn't. We don't really have one of these where it would have went no every other for 3.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning towards saying that it will be one of the from 2 ago. That's what I'm thinking.
All right, and that puts us at what? At 12? No, 8 and 33?
Uh, 33 and 12.
33 and 12. Okay.
All right. Let's double check. Yep. 33 and 12.
33 and 12. Sons of bitches.
Which takes us from the 13 down to 6 if we go that way. And all we're actually eliminating is 27s and 26s, which are somewhat due, but I still feel like we got to get to 28s before we see those again. But I'm sure I'll be wrong on that.
Johnny
But
B's cackling somewhere.
yeah, yeah. If I was picking, those would probably be the last ones I was going to pick anyway. More so 26s because we had 2 of those this
Right.
year. So if you want to go against the 2 ago and pick a double drop, 27s are probably your best, but I don't think you're likely to see either of those.
Yeah.
So that puts us, like I said, we've got basically 2 options on each of the other 3. So 28, 26 is 28, 27s, and 29, 28 got 3. And that means you are basically locked in. 5 of the 6 have 33 instead of 12. So let's go look at 33. And you see it has a pretty good history when it goes to 25 that it does do the 2 cycles ago when we got 1 here, didn't have 1, got 1, got 1. So not a bad hole to go all in on.
Right.
12, you see it doesn't quite have it. It had it once here, but not here,
Yeah.
here, or
He had a run, but
so I don't mind using 33. As going to be a cycle as we go down to the back, we realize, I think we were talking about it in the chat yesterday. But yeah, this is one where you definitely want to use a lot more backs than fronts. So I would recommend you probably go with which of these 3 you like, and you have the 2 fronts. And then if you have 6 or even 12, you do 3 or 6 backs.
yeah. Ay, ay, ay.
Mhm. All right, let's go talk about the back for a minute. As far as 14 and 15, and I think we talked about this a couple of cycles ago.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we did. It was just 2 cycles ago when we mentioned. Is there any connection between when still has the 40 or the 90 go to 43 that we do here? And I said, not really. And then didn't we have it happen here? Yeah. So clearly I was wrong. I didn't think there was much of a connection, but it was interesting. We saw it happen. So I think that means there's still a possibility of seeing it again.
Yeah.
But I'll probably just put it 9D at 14.
Right.
But clearly,
That's safe.
clearly I could be wrong. Yeah, that's where I prefer to do it. I don't like guessing if it'll go to 43.
Right. And then
So
plus it was, well,
worst
how many
case,
cycles was it
just
between
go bad.
43 for 90? Like 10, 15?
In gold,
Yeah. It was a good number, right? I feel like it was 15 or something like that. It was like,
17. Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, like we always say, you can try to be the one guy who makes the right guess, or you
Mm-hmm.
can play the odds and, be happier.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And
that's where I'll put that. Either way, you're using the same 2 holds there, but yeah, just a little thought on your point flow. All right, and then the big question would be 41s or 42s.
yeah, that's the one.
Usually that's a layup. We know exactly what's happening based on the front 2. But we had the switch. So what I did, I just looked at the few times, and it is very few that this happened. Um, let's see if I can find them again. So we had 9 cycles ago. We started with a 41, had a 42. Gold
Mm-hmm.
was a 41. And then you got to go back 18 and 19 cycles ago. It started with the 42, went a 41, and gold was both times a 41.
Yeah.
And we can go back one more. Actually, there's two there. 24 and 25. Started with the, I'm sorry, it's just 24, isn't it? Yeah. So it started with the 41, went a 42. Gold was a 41. So what is it? The last 4 times that this has happened in 25 cycles, it's been a 41 every time in gold. I think that's enough. It's a small sample size, but I think that's enough to say stick with the 41.
Yeah.
We know 41s are a little safer anyway, because, like we said, get a 42 at the worst. But
Yeah.
um,
I'd
yeah,
rather have a
so
499, 500 and be like, than be
yep.
493 and be off the page.
So I think I'll stick with 41s. And what that would do is that would take your backs down from 16 to 8. So like I said, I'm going to go with one of the 33s, and that'll give me 5 fronts,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be 40. So at
Not
that
bad.
point, yeah, pretty good.
Now I forget, is it the max you can have in any one league is, I'm sorry, anyone fed is 50, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
25 in one no limit league, 50 in a Fed, 200 across all 6.
Okay. Is that new or is
So
that
if
like,
you, the 200 starts next cycle. So it is new. It was 300 because you could have 50 in every one, but now it's down to, like, if you have 50, you can only do it in 4 out of 6. If that's the way you want to use
all right.
that.
I just play in one fed.
It
I'm not,
impacts like it impacts like 3 people.
I was
So
gonna say, I was like, I know I don't play
yeah.
in a lot of leagues, but like, is anybody out there like going, damn it? Sorry, bad break. I'm stopping this stuff soon. This is tasting terrible. Yeah. All right. Um,
All right. So
so we
we're
talked about the doubles. We talked about 25s, 41, 42. So 41, let's look at 41s and 41 1, 41 2. And for those of you who are watching and new with this, um, the 41 1 is this hold that had a stronger previous cycle hold value versus the one that did not. So 41 1 would be 63 and 61.
63.
Yeah.
63 would be one. Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
61 would be two.
mhm.
But again, I always feel like people like don't think about like the long term. Like when I had Victor von Schnapp, I almost always gave him uh, a 41, like always. And I always had the idea, well, I'm playing for the points. And that's the thing, sometimes you want to play for the points. And if you swing at the fences, as I do sometimes, you might get a 501 and get nothing for it. So I'm not bitter.
I find, like, yeah, you, if you don't know, like, on the cycles where absolutely use a 41 or a 42, if you always stick with the 41, like I said, that point or two makes a huge difference in stars. In certain leagues, I just want to be more consistent. It's like the Beto yells when I want to be consistent on. So it's always a
Mhm.
41, and I start about, I think I'm right at 50% of the time I've started there,
Yeah.
and that's a pretty good rate. And it's just because I play it safe right there. Other leagues where I really want that 501, it's closer to like 30, 33%. So there's a huge difference in being consistent if you just
Hmm.
stick with that.
And we're looking at
In regards to, yeah, let's look at the two here. Uh, this is pretty new for 61. It's really went downhill this year.
yeah, that used to be a reliable hold once upon a time. But here's where we're at. So do we think it's going to be a?
63. It's not that great either. And it's doing the whole trying to find something to compare it to. I guess it actually compared to itself right here.
Hmm.
It looks like it almost has to have one where it starts to go a few cycles before it goes up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to make of 61 because it's never went four in a row, but we do know, and I think we talked about this last cycle. It's rare for these holds to go past four. I'm trying to find any instances.
Oh, look, being a bad shitty shit hold for
Yeah,
4 cycles in a
yeah,
row.
exactly. Like
Uh,
never having a 45, 44, or 43.
83,
Here we go. Yeah, 83
85,
had one. 85, I don't know what to make of that. That's just barely hanging on to
85 blue.
being decent.
Oh, blue.
So two instances, three, because 85's got two. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got to go back a little further, and you got one here. So one, two, three, four out of all the holds over the last, what is this span? Two, a little over, about 2 years. Yeah, right at 2 years.
I would say that
Um,
the theory of 61 is about ready to
yeah,
up.
I would. Yeah, I would be willing to go towards 61.
I mean, 63 is not
And
terrible, but again, you're dealing with either a 44 or 40, 42 really.
mhm.
So
So really what we're looking at, basically you have three 50-50 chances between
yeah.
picking the 1-2 here, the 1-2 here, and the 1-2 here. So 50%, 50%, 50%.
Mm.
It's a 12.5% chance. But if we can go ahead and just pick one of these, then you go back up to 25%. And your back here goes to 4. So we're pretty close at that point. And all we really had to do, so I said I'm going to go all in on 33 and 61 because I just feel like out of the out of the combinations, those seem to be the two most likely. So if those two miss, yes, it will be bad, but I feel pretty good about at least one of those two working out, if not both.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to mix in both, but that's how you get that 501. You find the right combination and ching.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's some like I'll have 12 singles in a league, and yeah, I'll go all in on something like this, and yeah, when you're right, every single one of them. I think it was last cycle or the one before, but I think it was 10 of the 12 or a 498 or above. So it's pretty good when it works out. Let's see, the 41s and I'm sorry, 44s and 43s.
Ow. I'm all right.
Thought you were gonna make a really good point.
That's about as good as my out of way points get. I like that part where he said, that's how I feel when I do my strats. I've had this like unending cold for like a month and a half. It's just like, I'm not, I don't feel terrible. I just been like congested and, blah.
Mhm.
Yay. Sorry. So anyway, so we're back to 44 and
You're
43s.
good. Yeah. So it's really changed over the past half a year.
Mhm.
We used to, we got these really nice stretches to where I would almost just use what it was last cycle and had a pretty good chance of, hitting.
Mhm.
But then we started going with this whole mixing in everything.
Yeah.
Um, Nothing really stands out if you look at the pattern. Uh, it is interesting. The 2-2 happens and then if it happens once, 2 cycles later. But I don't think that's enough to really go off of. Just
Yeah.
twice. Um, but I don't think you can roll it out either right now. So this is going to be your tougher part, where I think all four are reasonable options,
Right.
and that's why I'm going to lock in my 41.
Well, pick.
So realistically, like I said, I'll pick one of these, and I'll go with the two. Now, unless you really like 29, 28, you could probably just go with the one if you like the 33, and
Right.
then you can use four of the backs, and you can even go with the other 41 and do two there if you really liked.
Right.
So there is a chance, if you really want to go that way, that you can just lock in one front. And sometimes what I'll do, if I can't eliminate one of the backs to get down to three, I'll pick which one of these I like the most, and I'll use all four backs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll pick the second, and I'll put the two I like the most on the back.
Okay.
That way you cover everything on the one you prefer a little bit, and you still have coverage as a backup.
Okay.
So
We're looking at a
let's go.
crapshoot when it comes to 44 and 43.
Mhm.
When all else fails, flip the coin.
Pretty
Keep it
much.
dark.
Because, yeah, looking through, we're more just looking at guessing. There's
Yeah, I mean,
not much to go off of.
67, where is it? 67, 65, right? So
Yep.
65 has been steady-ish,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Okay, with a 41 dip, that could be very reasonable. 67, a little less reasonable, but is a stronger hold. Hmm. Or
It's getting to be stronger. If you look
yeah.
back, it wasn't.
And then with our 43s, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Damn you, 67. 62, dick hold. Screw me over several times. I'm a bitter, but
Yeah. Just when you think you can trust it.
right. At 66, that also wasn't that great. So it's kind of like not a lot of great options.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I had something to say to narrow it down, but
Well, you
you
can do
feel like
is
you're more guessing than anything.
tell the players take the 40-point hold. This is the cycle. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Now, I will say, if I have no clue and don't want to guess, I usually just go with the 1-1, because, yeah, you got to say half these they have one of the ones just because of hold 90.
Yeah.
But if you count up the other half, it's still something like 68% of the time you'll get one right. So it cuts down on your risk of missing both 45s, which we know how bad that gets if you do that.
Ugh. Yeah.
But yeah, that's like a last resort.
Yeah.
So yeah, my recommendation would be try to keep at least three of these four options on the back, if not all four.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what you have to do. I was happy last cycle. We said one shouldn't go a fifth in a row at this, and it didn't.
Yep.
Um,
Got that right.
yeah,
Got that one.
I think it's safe from going back. Hopefully, we get this stretch here again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for being dumpy for so long,
yeah,
being more reliable would be great.
yeah. I think it would be. I would risk not dropping one. So we could do. We could do that. We could do that,
Mm,
and then be down to. Let's see what we got. 45, 559, 22. That's 22. I kind of like that 22 looks like its old self again.
yeah.
And I would probably be willing to keep using 22 till we see it drop instead of trying to guess when it would go again.
Okay.
Was we saw like on the bottom there, they can change over time, but it looks like it's still a stronghold. It just had to get a little bit of shakeup after a few years.
Yeah, it was kind of
So,
alternate 25 for a while, so
yeah, so I'd probably say of these three options, I don't like 28, 26s compared to the other two. So if that helps a little more.
that's all we can do, right?
But, mm,
Wow. All right, well, that's I guess our Christmas gift.
yeah, we're pretty low though. I mean, if you go back a step to the five options here and the four backs, uh, 20. So if you have 6 out of 20, you got a 30% chance of a 501 if we're right. So
I'll
that's not
take
bad.
it.
Yeah.
I could use a report hit. Gotta gotta help the new stable race.
Mhm.
Make sure that we launch things right and make sure it works.
If not, we'll change our name.
Yes.
It'll
And
work.
I still think we go from SOS to 911. Yeah. Break glass. I don't know.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows? But this time, next and by the time it runs, we could have a new logo in need. Who knows?
Hmm.
Anyways, I think we covered it pretty well, right? Got all our bases
I
covered.
think so. Yeah.
I think my notes here.
If we do any more, it's complete guesses,
Yeah,
and those aren't good for anybody.
no, that's all right. Well, I hope everybody has a happy holiday if they have a break, and if not, well, that's okay too. Have a good time. No, but we are finishing up the cycle. A couple of reminders. One is like and subscribe. I got this update today and it was like, your YouTube channel for the year had 18 new subscribers. I was like, well, that's cool. Um, you know, I feel bad for those people. Like whenever somebody
Mhm.
randomly joins up, I'm always like, who is this person? Uh, no, but we finish up the year for IWAR and January's a new year, and then the awards issues will be out. I think it's late February. And I won't give anything away just yet, but we are working on something enormous for the game. Uh, it was one of those things where I was like, well, I'll just ask for the stuff I think will work the best. And they were like, okay. So uh gets ready for that one to come out. And then those are working on too. But we're gonna have a lot of fun this year. So hopefully this year we'll wrap up well and finish out well and uh we'll get some definitive winners for various awards. And again, remember if you want to make a nomination for the award, um, you know, contact me and I will let you know. So, all right. Well, thanks, Mike, again. Thank you for another
No
year of
problem.
awesome workshops. Hopefully, I can keep hitting some high scores.
Hmm.
Show it works.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And as always, leave your questions, comments, and whatnot below, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. That's
All right.
68 in the books.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
See you.